Hey folks, Junior 2000 here coming at you with a different video. It's not a review, but it's my top 5 movies that people consider overrated, but I disagree. I'm also going to do a second video of my top 5 movies that I think are highly overrated and overpraised. Just my own opinion, because everybody has their opinion of what's an overrated movie and they don't like, but it gets highly praised. That'll be the second video. But this video on this subject is about the top 5 movies that people think are overrated, but I enjoy. So coming off with number 5, the movie that people think is overrated is the 1991 or 90 movie Point Break, starring the late great Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves, John motherfucking Wick, and Rick fucking Dalton kicking ass in this movie. Well, they're playing different characters in this movie. Patrick Swayze plays um, Bodie, the surfer, and the bank robber, and Johnny Utah is Keanu Reeves' character that he plays. And a lot of people don't realize that people did not realize that there was already a remake that came out years after Point Break. And I'd be surprised to some folks that don't realize, but the Fast and the Furious movie from 2001, that was literally a remake of Point Break. And some people were surprised when I told them, like, hey, you know what's the remake of Point Break? It's not that piece of shit remake that came out in 2015. They already had a remake already, and it was the Fast and the Furious from 2001. Similar story. That, of course, they did some changes in the Fast and Furious movie, but you know what the GIF is about. It's similar to Point Break. Brian's a cop. He's undercover. It's like Johnny Utah. He's undercover. He's finding out who's bank robbing these places. Same thing with Fast and Furious. He's trying to find out who is robbing these trucks and stealing the products. Similar story. The cop lets the bad guy go. Same thing in the end. Those two have the same endings. So yeah, it's pretty much Fast and the Furious from 2001. The first movie is pretty much a remake of Point Break. But Point Break is a very entertaining, action-packed thriller slash robbery movie. It's on those top 10 movie robbery movies that you watch, like Michael Mann's Heat, The Town with Ben Affleck, Set It Off with Queen Latifah. Um, what else? There's other Public Enemies with Johnny Depp as John Dillinger. That's a fucking badass gangster robbery movie. But yeah, it's up there. Point Break is up there because it's a bank robbery movie with surfers wearing the ex-president's mask, and they're robbing banks for money. And yeah, it's a very good movie, entertaining. Keanu Reeves does a great performance. Same with Patrick Swayze. There's some great character actors in the movie. Of course, Vincent Klein from Cyborg as the main bad guy in Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's one of the surfing Nazis characters named Ward Child that he has a big fight with Keanu Reeves in the middle part of the movie. He's in that movie, Point Break. Anthony Kiedis, am I pronouncing his last name right? The singer from Red Hot Chili Pepper. He plays one of the other surfing Nazis with War Child. Yeah, Anthony Kiedis, who's the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Pepper, he appears in this one as another surfing Nazi guy, and he has like a brutal moment where he accidentally shoots his foot, and see the big gory moment where he accidentally bumps into his gun and hits his foot. That was brutal as shit, but that was cool to see the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Pepper in this movie. I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are an underrated band. I think they're criminally underrated. Pretty good band. Yeah, even Tom Sizemore has an uncredited role in this movie as a DEA agent named Deke. who gets pissed at Keanu Reeves and Gary Busey in the movie. So yeah, rest in peace, Tom Sizemore. I know he passed away this year. I think he passed away. Yep. Rest in peace, Tom Sizemore. And then, like, there's other great actors. Even Lori Petty as Tyler, she's pretty good, and she's pretty damn hot. I like Lori Petty in this movie. You also got James DeLaGrosse who plays Roach. You guys remember him? He played he was recasted for the Michael character in Phantasm. He was the guy that played Michael in the second Phantasm movie. And yeah, he's in this movie too. So Point Break as Roach. Gary Busey, of course. Gary motherfucking Busey. Pissing on the Yankees, pissing on the Indians, pissing on the couch. Bullshit luck, bullshit luck. Actually, because I like his line from Silver Bullet. I feel like a virgin on prom night. He always says that line in every of his movies. That's like one of his big one-liners that he always says. I feel like a virgin on prom night. I love Gary Busey. He kicks ass in his performance, but he plays like He plays Keanu Reeves' partner in the movie, and he gets killed at the end. Then they have like the fight with Johnny Utah and Bodie, and yeah, I enjoy it. It's bit with surfing, robbery, and kick-ass action throughout the movie. It's well done, and it's a movie that some people may be surprised, but it's an overrated movie that people think it's overrated. There's some folks that don't like it; they think it's highly overrated, but I disagree. I think the movie kicks fucking ass. It's awesome. Yeah, so Point Break, I highly enjoyed it. If anybody has not seen the Point Break from 1990 or 91, I forgot what year it came out, but don't watch the 2015 remake. Skip that piece of shit. But yeah, the one with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves kicks ass. So that number 5 was Point Break. Number 4, movie that people think is overrated, but I highly disagree, is Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, surprisingly, Napoleon Dynamite is a movie that people consider overrated. I disagree because I think that's a fucking hilarious movie. I think John Heder does a great performance as Napoleon Dynamite. Gosh, dang it. You ate all the freaking chips, Kip. You're such an idiot. I like the one liners that he always has in the movie as Napoleon Dynamite. It's fucking hilarious. My Uncle Rico's an idiot. So yeah, pretty good character actor by John Heder. It's a funny ass movie set in Idaho, where he lives in the country of Idaho, goes to high school, has friends in the high school with Pedro, and also a girl named Deb. Those two they become his friends, and he also has Kip, who's like trying to be all thuggish when he meets with um his blind date LaFonda. I like it too. Like all the characters there in the movie are fucking hilarious. Even Uncle John Grice playing Uncle Rico is fucking brilliant. Everyone calls me Uncle Rico. Such a jackass character that I just laugh at. I even laugh when he throws a steak. That's pretty funny. Even I forgot the guy's name. District Batter. He plays Rex and he's fucking hilarious. The reason I get these bad boys talking about the American flag pants that he wears. Take a look what I'm wearing. People will be scared if I wear these bad boys in front of them. Enough said. Yeah, that's a great character actor. District Batter's funny as hell as Rex. Everything is funny from start to finish. And there's some people that think this movie is overrated and doesn't make sense. It may not make sense for some people, but I enjoy Napoleon Dynamite. I disagree with that one being overrated because that's a great, funny ass movie. Hopefully, it gets a 4K one day, remastered. As if it's owned by fucking Disney because Disney owns Fox and that's a Fox title. Fucking Disney's are cheap ass motherfuckers, but and woke ass too. But yeah, that'll be interesting if they do a sequel to Napoleon Dynamite. But yeah, that's number four on my list. Napoleon Dynamite. I don't think that's an overrated movie. It's funny as hell. And if nobody has never seen it, highly recommend Napoleon Dynamite from 2004. Number three, I'm gonna have to go with a movie that's not overrated, but people consider it overrated. I'm gonna have to consider mentioning the movie The Exorcist. Yep, the 1973 classic The Exorcist, the scariest movie of all time. A lot of people consider that as an overrated film. I highly disagree with that. That is not an overrated movie. That is the most powerful fucking film that's ever made. And it was actually hell of a hard movie to make too. Like you would not see this shit getting made nowadays, because it's so predictable. Like everybody can make a rip off Exorcist movie nowadays, being cheap ass or being very stupid about it. Like if you want to talk about one of the worst possession movies that I ever saw, what I'm mentioning that movie Devil Inside, aka The Devil Inside My Ass, as everybody would call it, because I think everybody would call it Devil Inside My Ass because that's how the movie is called. Because and everybody feels about that because that movie sucked. I think that movie sucked ass because that was a terrible, boring ass possession movie. I'm not big on the Last Exorcism movie, but that's better than The Devil Inside because Devil Inside's easily the worst possession movie. It's fucking crap and awful and boring. But yeah, everything would make a lot of ripoffs to The Exorcist. Even Amityville 2, maybe a little bit, but I highly disagree with Amityville 2. The Possession, that's highly different, and that's its own thing, and that's a very criminally underrated movie. That's no ripoff of The Exorcist. That debunk was done. Everybody could agree. That is its own thing. It's nothing against The Exorcist. It's nothing ripoff about The Exorcist. But the reason I'm mentioning number three as The Exorcist is because a lot of people seem to really shit on the movie, think it's overrated, think it's boring, thinking it's nothing scary. Like, what the fuck is this highly praised about? It seems like people don't really want to just calm down and just be entertained and be scared about the movie. They just want to just have like rush shit, rush shit, rush shit, and have something pop down. Oh, something great and very more fast paced. No, The Exorcist is a highly scary movie, and I would say it's a better movie than I'll mention it in an overrated movie in the next video. But yeah, there's it's a great movie, very powerful story about the meaning of faith and finding your judgment of salvation and courage. And it's pretty much a story about Father Karras trying to find his faith because he loses his faith and he loses his mom at the same time. And during the journey, he sees the possessed Reagan as his salvation to save this girl and find his courage to find his faith. And he does at the end, courageously saving Reagan from the demon to go inside of him after he sees Marin has fallen and died from the exorcism. He had no choice but to let the devil come inside of him, pull the necklace off him, and then gets the devil inside of him and about to attack Reagan again. But no, he takes the force of the devil and says no and crashes into the window and falls 3 stories down to the stairs of the exorcist and falls down brutally where his face is smashed through the steps and of the cement. And yeah, very brutal end to Karras' sacrifice, but he saved Reagan and also gets a last rite prayer in Latin by Father Dyer at the end. Yeah, very powerful movie. Great cast, very powerful directing and music too. Just a very powerful movie. It doesn't scare me now more because I've seen the movie a million times and it's still a classic to me. I never found anything overrated about The Exorcist. The Exorcist is a masterpiece. And still to this day, it's still a great movie. I could watch the movie every day and never be bored of it. I have to probably watch the theatrical cut because I know a lot of people are used to the theatrical cut. I'm more into the director's cut because I like the longer scenes. The version you never seen is the best cut. But yeah, number three was The Exorcist. It's highly considered an overrated movie, but I disagree. I think it's a very powerful movie and one of the better, scariest movies that ever came out in the 70s. Because the 70s had real shit that was scary, like Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill's Halloween, and Dawn of the Dead, and The Omen. That is the shit. That is the real shit. That's why the 70s is an underrated decade for horror movies. But yeah, number three is The Exorcist. Disagree with that being overrated. It's a masterpiece, classic. Number two, I'm gonna go with Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker as Ghost Dog, about this samurai inspired gangster hitman guy that he's very secretive, he's very ghosted of not being seen, having leaving evidence behind. He's like a very smart hitman that does the job right. And some people say that this movie's overrated. I disagree with this one being overrated. It may have some confusing context because Ghost Dog does his job. He kills the guy that he was supposed to do as a hitman, killing this gangster guy named Handsome Frank. But the weird thing, of course, the part that's weird is that why are they going after Ghost Dog? He didn't like. It would have made more sense if he killed Vargo's daughter, which she was there too, and sees him too, sees Ghost Dog there, and sees the assassination happening. But if he would have accidentally killed her, okay, that would have made more sense. Why they're gonna go after Ghost Dog? But it's like very unexplained of why the fuck are they going after Ghost Dog? He did his job. He didn't kill Vargo's daughter, so like, what the fuck? That didn't make sense. But I could pass that. But all in all, very well done movie directed by Jim Jarmusch, who also did a great movie with that movie Dead Man, which is a black and white gritty western movie with Johnny Depp and Lance Harrison and Michael Wincott. That's a great movie. But Ghost Dog with Samurai has a good soundtrack as well with by the RZA. He does the soundtrack and I like the music in this movie. You get some funk music, you get some moody music, you get some emotional music, you get some hip hop songs and rap songs that are pretty damn good from the 90s. Even a Flavor Flav song that one of the gangsters is listening to, Public Enemy. That was funny. Where he's like singing the song and he's about to brush his teeth before Ghost Dog assassinates him. That's a funny scene. The movie does deliver funny shit too. Gotta admit. It may be like a weird gangster movie at times, but it is highly entertaining and very great movie. And the ending is a bit sad too. But Ghost Dog with a Samurai, great movie, great performance by Forrest Whitaker, pretty solid cast. And yeah, I do enjoy Ghost Dog with a Samurai. Some people think it's overrated, but I disagree. I think that movie is very fucking badass. Number two with Ghost Dog with a Samurai. Excuse me, folks. Number one, it's gonna surprise people. Why is this highly overrated? But it's the 1997 film Face Off, directed by John Woo, starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise to people because some people don't consider that overrated, but there's some people that think the movie's overrated. And yeah, some people consider Face Off 1987 overrated, but I highly disagree. I think Face Off is a great film. It kicks ass. It's a rock. I think a critic said Face Off is a rocket movie. It's kick ass. I agree. Face Off is a fucking badass movie from start to finish. Great performances by John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. But Nicolas Cage is the one that's Castor Troy. He steals the show. He sees some of the crazy shit in this movie, and even as a bad guy, he plays a badass bad guy. Like that's how you do a bad guy that's badass. I even like the part where he says the funny ass line where he's like singing to John Travolta, "Ready for the big ride, baby." Like that's funny and crazy shit. And then even when John Travolta is Castor Troy, he's like, "I'm Castor Troy, yeah, I'm Castor Troy, woo, I'm Castor Troy." He punches the guy. I'm Castor Troy, motherfucker. Like that is just some insane shit from Nicolas Cage. Like one of his better performance. He also did a kick-ass performance in Con Air, which I love that one too. So yeah, 97 Face Off is a badass movie from start to finish. Kick-ass action scenes by John Woo, because John Woo, I reviewed his movie recently. Was it not Broken Arrow? I mentioned Broken Arrow and Hard Target. Those are badass movies. But I was talking about the 2023 movie that he came out with, which is Silent Night. Highly enjoy that movie. If anybody has not seen Silent Night, highly recommend to check that movie out. It's fucking good. Don't hear the criticism that it's been getting. Cause a lot of people, I seen people been criticizing this movie, Silent Night. I suggest folks just don't listen to the fucking bullshit critics. Just watch it as your own. If you like it, if you don't like it, just have it like that. Don't listen to the fucking bullshit critics that they're saying shit about the movie. Because I see that people are criticizing the movie on critics by reviews and shit. But I highly recommend folks to check it out if you enjoy revenge thrillers. Silent Night's a must watch. But yeah, John Woo knows how to direct action, knows how to do shootout scenes, knows how to do chase scenes, especially the boat chase scene in this movie is fucking insane, man. And even the fight between John Travolta and Nicolas Cage at the end is insane and very vicious and violent as hell. And yeah, even a good soundtrack too. The movie, it just nothing bad about it. And yeah, it may surprise the people like, why is this movie overrated? Because I know that there's some people that say this movie's overrated and it's not that great. I don't really get it, why it's hated, but to each their own. That's their opinion, but that's my opinion. For I enjoyed Face Off 1997 by John Woo, starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Both did a kick-ass performance, and I know trivia facts about the movie. They were gonna consider like other people that were having heated rivalries throughout decades in movies. It was gonna be Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Stallone and Schwarzenegger. And you know those four guys, those two had feuds with each other, and yeah, it's gonna be one of them too, or it was gonna be Michael Douglas and Harrison Ford. Yeah, so like those were the a lot of people considered for the roles of Castor Troy and Sean Archer, but no, it went to John Travolta as Sean Archer and Castor Troy as played by Nicolas Cage. And both did a kick-ass performance in this movie. John Woo knows how to direct motherfucking action, and this is a badass movie that still kicks ass, and it's a fucking rocket, man. It kicks ass from start to finish. And yeah, number one was Face Off 1997, directed by John Woo. Don't really get why it's highly overrated from folks seeing it. I disagree with that. It's a great movie, badass flick from the 90s. So yeah, that's my top 5 movies that I disagree from being overrated, folks. And then stay tuned for the next video, being 5 movies that I think are overrated. And it's gonna be my opinion, and it'll be everybody's opinion. Like if they like the movie, I respect it, and I'll be more respected about it. And have a good day, everybody, and see you for the. If you're gonna stick around for the next video, stay tuned for the top 5 overrated movies, and see you there, folks. Take the like, subscribe, and take care, folks. Bye bye.